Welcome everyone. In this session, we are going to learn about a candlestick pattern which is known as Marubozu candle. A Marubozu candlestick is a candle with no upper and lower shadow. With no upper and lower shadow. As you can see here, this is a big red candle, with no upper shadow and no lower shadow. So this type of candle is known as bearish Marubozu. Bearish Marubozu. Similarly, those candles which are green in color with no upper and lower shadow are known as bullish Marubozu. Bullish Marubozu. Basically, Marubozu candles represents the strength in the movement, which means if we spot a red Marubozu candle or a bearish Marubozu candle, it means that the bears are dominating. Bears are dominating. And similarly, vice versa, if we see a green Marubozu candle, it means bulls are dominating. Bulls are dominating. So, whenever we spot a bearish Marubozu candle, we look for selling opportunity, selling or shorting opportunity. And similarly, whenever we spot a green Marubozu candle, we look for buying opportunity, buying or long opportunity. So, how Marubozu candle forms? Let's see. Whenever open is equal to no, for example, let's say a company XYZ Limited whose opening price is 100 rupees and the no is also same and the high price is 150 rupees and the close is similar to its high, then what will happen? As we can see, there will be no wick or no shadow. So this type of candle will be called a bullish Marubozu candle. A bullish Marubozu candle. And whenever the open price of a stock is equal to high, for example, a stock XYZ Limited opened at the rate of 150 rupees and the high is also same while it closed at 100 rupees and low is same to its close, then a bearish Marubozu will be formed. Then a bearish Marubozu will be formed. So this was the psychology and the formation behind the Marubozu candle. Theoretically, we say the Marubozu candle should have no upper and lower shadow, but practically we consider those candles whose wick are small, those candles whose upper and lower wick are small, we consider those candles also as a Marubozu candle. What I mean to say, in theoretically, a Marubozu candle should look like this. without upper and lower shadow. But practically, when we trade, when we look into the chart, we consider even this type of candle also as a Marubozu candle. So this was on about the formation, psychology, and the consideration which we make while trading a Marubozu candle. So let's move on to the chart and see some examples and understand it better. Here we have Jindal Steel and Power Limited 15 minutes time frame NSE listed. What happened, as you can see, big red candle, big red candle with small upper and lower wick. What I mean by small, small means small wicks with comparison to its body. Small wick with comparison to its body. So as we can see, with respect to the body, wick size is considerably small. So we consider this type of candle as a bearish Marubozu. Bearish Marubozu. So what our strategy says, we have to enter at the closing price or at the low, whichever we seems right. We have to enter over here, keeping our stop loss somewhere here by giving a small buffer. So if this much is our risk, our reward would be somewhat this, and here we would have achieved our target. So this is our reward with respect to the risk. We always maintain our risk reward ratio of 1 is to 1.5 minimum. So this was the strategy which we have to employ while trading with the Marubozu candlestick pattern. Similarly, in the chart, in the same chart, we can see a bearish Marubozu candle also, a perfect bearish Marubozu candle. Let me show you. See, this is a perfect bullish Marubozu candle, a perfect bullish Marubozu candle. As you can see, its opening price is equal to low and its high is equal to close, which means it's a perfect bullish Marubozu candle. So as per our strategy, what we have to do is entry at the close. Since we do not have any high here, so we will enter at the close. Entry at the close, keeping stop loss by giving a small buffer. If this much is our risk, our reward would be somewhat this, and somewhere here we would have achieved our target 1 is to 1.5. So this is how we trade a bullish Marubozu and a bearish Marubozu candle. Let's see some more examples. Gujarat State Fertilizer and Chemical Limited 15 minutes time frame NSE listed. What happened over here is a big red bearish candle formed. A big red bearish candle formed with open is equal to high and close is equal to low, which means a perfect bearish Marubozu, a perfect bearish Marubozu candle. So as per our strategy, what we have to do, entry at the close or low, stop loss. See, what happened over here is the size of candle is very huge. So what we can do is, instead of keeping this much of stop loss or taking this much of risk, it would be much better if we keep our stop loss somewhere over here at the middle of candle or slightly above middle of candle. Sometimes we follow a 75% rule. What does 75% rule means? 75% rules means when we spot a very huge candle, we keep our stop loss at the 75% of the candle instead of keeping at high or low. For example, if this is our entry, then instead of keeping our stop loss over here, what we will do is we will divide the candle in four equal parts: 1, 2, 3, and 4. Almost equal part. So in four equal parts, we divided the candle 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. So whatever strategy says, if this is our entry, our stop loss would be at the 75%. This would be our stop loss. Let me erase this for better clarity. So this is our entry, this is our stop loss, this much is our risk. Our reward would be somewhat this, and here, sorry, and here you would have achieved your target 1.5, 1 is to 1.5. So this is how we trade Marubozu candlestick pattern. And one more thing I would like to tell you, that most of the time you will be finding Marubozu candle as a big candle or huge candle. So what you have to do is, when keeping your stop loss, keep your SN at 75%. 75% means 75% size of the candle. If this is the size of candle, then divide it in four equal part: 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have got the four parts. Instead of keeping our stop loss somewhere here, we will keep our stop loss over here. This is what our 75% category or 75% rule says. So this is how we have to trade Marubozu candlestick pattern. Let's see some more examples. NMDC Limited India, 15 minutes time frame, NSE listed. What happened? A big red bearish candle formed, which is a bearish Marubozu candle. Bearish Marubozu candle with its open almost equal to, not equal to, almost equal to high, because it has a very small wick. As you can see, it has a very small wick, and the lower wick is also considerably small with respect to the body. So this is a bearish Marubozu candle. So what our strategy says, our strategy over here says, since the size of candle is small, we will be keeping our stop loss at the high of candle by giving a small buffer. So our entry would be somewhere here. Either we can consider closing price also, or we can consider low of the candle also. Entry would be here, a stop loss will be somewhere here, giving a small buffer. If this much is our risk, our reward would be somewhat this, and as you can see, our target would have been achieved over here. So here we would have easily achieved 1 is to 1.5 RR. So this is how we have to trade a Marubozu candlestick pattern. Let's see some more examples. Maruti Suzuki Limited India, 15 minutes time frame, NSE listed. What happened? A perfect bullish Marubozu candle formed. perfect. Why I said perfect? Because its open is equal to no and its close equal to high, which means a perfect bullish Marubozu candle form. So what our strategy says? Our strategy says we have to enter at the close or high of the candle, keeping a stop loss by giving a small buffer. If this much is our stop loss or risk, then our reward would have been somewhat this, which would have been achieved over here. So this would have been our target with risk of this much, easily 1 is to 1.5. And if you are good in training your stop losses, then you would have easily achieved a target of minimum this level, or also even this level. So your risk reward would have been almost 1 is to 2.5 or somewhat more also. So this is how we trade a bullish Marubozu candlestick pattern. Let's see some more example. Again, Jindal Steel and Power Limited, 15 minutes time frame. Again, a perfect Marubozu candle. Perfect bullish Marubozu candle. Why bullish? Because color of candle is green and its open is equal to low and its close equals to high, which means a perfect bullish Marubozu candle. And one more thing actually I would like to tell you, whenever you spot a perfect Marubozu candle, never hesitate to bet on that trade. Never ever hesitate to bet on that trade, because whenever you spot a perfect Marubozu candle, whether it may be a bullish or it may be a bearish, the success rate of those trades are 90%, which means out of 10 trades you will be winning minimum of 8 to 9 trades. So never hesitate to trade whenever you spot a perfect Marubozu candle. I repeat, a perfect Marubozu candle. So let's get back to our point. So what our strategy over here says, entry at the high, keeping stop loss by giving a small buffer. If this much is our risk, our reward would be this much, and our target would have been achieved somewhere here or in this candle. So 1 is to 1.5. So this is how we trade a bullish Marubozu candle. This is how we trade a bullish Marubozu candle. Titan Company Limited, 15 minutes time frame. Now as you can see here, a similar to perfect Marubozu candle, similar to perfect. Why similar to perfect? Why similar to perfect? Because its close equals to high, but its low is not equal to open. It has a very small wick. If you can see, it has a very small wick over here. So but we consider this also perfect Marubozu candle, a Marubozu candle. So what our strategy says, entry at the high, stop loss at the low by giving a small buffer. If this much is our risk, our reward would have been this much, and you would have received our target or achieved our target over here, or if not here then here. So this is how we trade Marubozu candlestick pattern. Always remember, risk to reward ratio should be minimum 1 is to 1.5. Minimum 1 is to 1.5. So this was all about the Marubozu candlestick pattern. So till now we have covered on the important candlestick patterns. I hope you might have understood on the candlesticks very well, on the strategies very well. So this was all about candlestick analysis and trading strategy. I would like to say that you should practice enough, train your eye, look into the charts for several times so that you get on the candlestick patterns on the charts very easily. So backtest enough times, practice enough times. So this was all about technical analysis and candlestick pattern analysis and trading strategy. On the best for your trading career, and thank you.